quarantine dream. This is kinda extreme. Wanna take one for the team, but I'm not sure what team I'm on.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of Corona Connections Worldwide, the final episode of this crazy year 2020. Maybe the final episode at all. We'll see what 2021 holds in many ways, I guess. We're broadcasting today from my Zoom background from Decatur Street, just off of Frenchman. I think in pre-pandemic times, somebody had tagged up some garage doors with the slogan, "Keep that chin up." But during the pandemic, somebody added a little addendum. It says, "This too shall pass" at the bottom. Seemed like a nice little sentiment to round out the show and the year with. We are going to India today to check in with Hitesh. Hitesh and I were virtual colleagues. I was working remotely from New Orleans, but for a company based in Charlottesville, Virginia, and Hitesh and a whole team of new employees in Ahmedabad, India were hired in, I think, January 2018. I helped train them before moving on with my life in June 2019. But Hitesh has stayed in touch, checks in with me from time to time, so it was exciting to get him on the podcast. Just a few things that I wanted to clear up or establish ahead of time. We talk about Hitesh's religion at various points throughout the show. He identifies himself as a Hindu, but who is attracted to certain Sikh practices, and so we bring up the gurudwara, which I'm probably not saying right, but that's the temple that he attends. And there's just some differences with numbers. He will mention crore a few times, and that is 10 million, which we do talk about and establish for ourselves at some point in the show. And then he'll also reference lakh, and that is 100,000. So I'll try to pop in during those points of the show to just do the number conversions if necessary, but just as a heads up for those kind of cultural differences and ways of referring to things. But yeah, without further ado, let's go. Let me go ahead and introduce you. Today we have Hitesh joining us from India. Hitesh and I were colleagues at a financial company. Are you still working there?
Yeah, still am.
How has it been? Have you only been working at home since the pandemic, or do you still go to the office sometimes?
No. Office is still closed, still March or April, and for the global location, it will be closed till April because there is new strain of corona came to India. Almost 12 to 14 people who travel to Britain to India.
Oh,
So
wow.
now India health ministry department tracking those people.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with the news very well. I drove from New Orleans to Virginia to be with my family for the holiday on Monday, the 21st. So I listened to a lot of news that day and was hearing about the new strain that had been found in England or in the UK, and how many countries were worried about this, but I haven't heard many updates since for almost a week now. So you're saying that that new strain has been found in India now because some people traveled from the UK to India?
Right, and one of my neighbor, he was working in the Netherlands. He was planning to come in the end of December to India, and suddenly Netherlands country stopped the flight, and he's not able to come. Also, now he have to stay.
Wow. So how, and that is also because of the new strain from the UK. So how many countries have you closed travel to, or are your borders totally closed again?
Yes, almost like 10 to 15 countries. Also, India banned not only that UK and Britain, but also from other countries, Europe countries, so that people might not to get infected much more because India also was affected after that US. So now is health ministry department taking care of because the population is so giant in the India, 135 crores.
So here's that crore I was talking about. 135 crores is 1.35 billion people.
So if
Yeah.
it is virus spread, it's difficult to, control it. That's the reason.
Absolutely. And I think I heard from somebody, somebody from the office in Virginia who was still talking to somebody in your office, who told me that you had tested positive and were in isolation for a while, maybe over the summer. Is that true?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
No, 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 not me. My grandmother, she was
Oh,
ill,
oh,
but
okay.
we were isolated, big family to keep go out, and because of safety purpose, because she is a diabetic person, and
Oh,
that's the reason we have to take care of her.
gotcha. So you see, this is how rumors start. Everybody thought that it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
you. You're saying that your grandma, she had tested positive, or you're only concerned for her because of her diabetes, and so you were all being very careful.
yes.
Which one did she tested positive, or you were only worried to keep her safe?
Yeah, yeah. So we just take care of her health, medicines, and she don't get out, and so just we are taking those precautions, and now she is well.
Okay, good. So you don't think that she actually ever had the coronavirus?
No, no, she have that symptoms when
Okay.
she went for the testing and everything, but not that much, that we have to admit and everything. So she was just at home isolation. But
Okay.
by God grace, she recovered well and now feel very much better.
Oh, that's
And I
good.
wish
Does your grandmother live with you?
no, no, she is living with my uncle,
Okay, but they live near you? Because I
some
think I
distance.
remember your parents don't live in your town, correct? Your parents live somewhere
No,
else?
no, yeah. At that time when I was in Ahmedabad, until the lockdown, I was there. But when June that transportation opened, I came to my hometown in the Somnath. So
Okay.
currently I'm with my parents, and apart from with work, I'm taking care of my family apart from my household responsibilities. So it's a corona's like give me a one chance to prove myself that how we can support to business as well as our personal life and family.
Yeah, no, that's a really great way to look at it. And that's something, doing this podcast, it's been a little bit heartwarming. Almost all of my guests have had something very positive to say about something good that was able to happen to them, or something good they were able to see about the world or themselves or their families because of the coronavirus. So I think we try to
Because
be careful about painting silver linings and making
right.
things too good if it because it is a bad situation, but it's also been kind of heartwarming to see how people are able to find the positive aspects of it. And people, you realize how lucky you are for the things that you have, and you really look forward to getting to see all of the people that you've been missing and do the traditions that you weren't able to do this year. Like our Christmas was a little bit different than it's been in the past
Yes,
because we
yes,
didn't see all of our friends in the area, and the Thanksgiving celebration in November. There's some very good friends that we've seen for many, many years in a row, but we didn't see them this time. But we'll just feel that
yeah.
much better next year, hopefully, if we're able to get
Yeah, yeah,
together.
definitely. I wish same also. Yeah, so that one more thing I would like to share with you. When there was in the March 22, there was a curfew in that entire India, and I
Okay.
was at office. So as like we get information from our managing director that take your system and work from home. At that time, no one know that that would be a that much affect our life. So due to that day till the today, I'm very much thankful to my organization as that all the team members and colleagues that provide great much support, leaves, everything, flexibility, new policy, work from home setup. So previously I was very worried, because in the India the work from home culture is very much less, but corona gave me chance to work in the new way. So
Mm-hmm.
like I really like it, and I'm really thankful to our organization also.
Yeah, you can see how lucky I was when I was working for the company that I got to work from home all of the time with my dog.
Yeah, yeah, I was barking, I listen. Yeah, yeah.
He's here now with me in Virginia too. It was around 15 hours in the car on Monday, and he always comes along with me. He's very good in the car. He doesn't complain very much. Um, but yeah, and I think also not only could you not work from home in India, your schedule, you were working the night shift, and I think it was also a long commute. Is that correct? It took you a long time to get to the office?
No, currently our timing is getting changed. But like previously, we were at office, we were working from the evening, yeah, to till the night. But at that time, there was some offices trainings, and like we were previously working with you and Nick. So there was some trainings. So after that, the business requirement, we are now get shifting at 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. So we are getting free 10 to 11 o'clock during the night. So also it's really good for us that companies taking care of our health also.
Yeah.
And see, now we are we have a flexibility to work at the daytime also.
Yeah, that's nice. Does that have to do partially with that you're not working with the Charlottesville office anymore, so you don't have to have your schedule match the same hours that they were doing in Virginia?
The main reason is the coronavirus, and there is some office etiquettes at that time. If I was working with evening shift, that at my desk there was a sharing desk, but after the coronavirus, now we are at home, we have a system with us. And apart from that, we have done with all the trainings and materials. So now we are get almost like 2 years, so there is not that much, but still us guys available, so that we are getting touch between 4 to 5 hours with them also.
Yeah, that makes sense. It seems like a good setup. Yeah, I'm working on a TV show now, and I
Oh,
started back
nice.
in March, and there have been many changes made to the way that we operate there. Like before, I get paid for a day of work, so I get paid for up to 12 hours of work. And then if we work longer than 12 hours, then I get some more money. But that wasn't uncommon. Like we would usually work about 12 hours in a row and
Yeah.
sometimes a little bit more. And now the days are capped at 10 hours, just to, make sure people can rest enough and to not have people together for such a long period of time. So that has been kind of a benefit of the Corona system that we only have to work 10 hours a day, and can sort of rely on that instead of wondering like, ooh, or like wonder wonder when we will finish today. So yeah, I think companies in many different industries have had to make changes to try to protect their employees. So help me
Right.
get a better understanding of kind of the whole experience. So you said on March 22nd is when the company said take your equipment home. And so from March until June, you stayed in Ahmedabad, and worked from, you had an apartment there, I'm guessing.
Yes, yes, rented.
Okay. With
Rented apartment.
did you have roommates or did you live by yourself?
No, no, I was had a roommate,
Okay.
and then we were staying together. And but it's in corona time, and I feel much better when I have someone with me, because if in corona time it is lockdown, we don't have to
Mhm.
get out, what will
Yeah.
be the situation with us? So I really thankful to my that roomie that is taking myself for during when I was specially having a night shift, because
Yeah.
it's changed from the July. So till the June I was working with the same night shift, so he was taking care of my cooking, dinner, extra
Oh.
household activities. So really, it's
Yeah.
quite.
Are they still in Ahmedabad or did they also relocate in June?
No, he was also left the Ahmedabad. He was also from another state. He
Okay.
was from, I think, Rajasthan.
Okay.
Yeah, so he
Was
was
he a friend that you had before you lived with him, or did you only meet when you lived together?
no. He was working with me in the same company since June 2016 to 18. So
Okay.
it was quite, we have better understanding. So I was living with him.
Yeah, no, that's good because I think it could be maybe difficult to live with someone that you don't know very well and then be locked down with them. And so it's nice that they were already a friend, and that you had that company.
Because, yeah. My eating habits are his eating habits. I don't eat non-veg, and if someone eats non-veg, so there was some spiritual and other religious understanding. Because I have my routine prayers, timings, and that harmoniums have to do kirtan in the gurudwara. So I have to follow that protocols also.
Right. Let's talk about that a little bit more. So because you're Sikh, right? Sikh Muslim,
Yes,
and your
yeah.
roommate was not.
Sorry.
Your roommate was not Sikh like you.
No, he was Hindu. No, I am also Hindu, but and there is I believe that just in India there are more 3,000 plus caste systems here there, but
Mm-hmm.
in other countries I don't think that much variation in that religious perspective. So I am only believing in that only one thing, that is one God,
Okay.
only one God, who is a creator of all, who is a vanish of all. So
Okay.
there is no Sikh, no Hindu, but yeah, I'm very much attached with that Sikh religion.
Yeah,
It's a
I was
to
trying to remember, and I remembered the temple that you go to, the gurudwara. Is that right?
yeah,
I'm,
Guru. Right. Agree. Yeah,
I was like, I know that's the temple he goes to, and when I googled it, it said that it was more of a Sikh thing, but I guess I didn't do enough
right.
research. Um, but so you're saying that you had the way that you practice your religion was a little bit different than your roommates, and you had the harmonium, which is like the little like piano,
Yes.
like accordion
Yeah.
piano little thing, right? So
Yeah.
you play this and you practice
Has
at home.
yeah. It's with me only. I can show you. Just
Oh,
give me
sure,
a
yeah.
moment.
This will be the first time I've had a harmonium on the podcast, or really any
Just
musical
yeah.
instrument. Yeah, take your time.
Waheguru, 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 Waheguru.
That's great.
Thank you.
How long have you been playing?
I meet one of that sick guy with turban, and at that time I'm very much inspired by entering to Gurudwara and how they are serving food to, like they are sitting together. There is, with no differential whether he is rich, whether he is a poor,
Mm.
what caste he is belong, what kind of status he have, or like they are following equal to all. So I'm very much inspired with that Sikh cultures. And after that, I realized in the lockdown when there is a totally lockdown in the India. Only there was a Gurdwara was open. Where it's kind of inner feeling we are getting that very hard time how they are serving to nation, serving to society, and their humbleness, and that's the reason I'm very much attached with Sikhi, that there is no any temple, there is no any transportation where operate, and that Sikh community serving food to each and everyone.
Yeah. So, you're saying you became all the more interested in the Sikh culture during this lockdown because you found that they were being the very charitable people and making sure people had food and not just looking out for their community members and even other community members during this hard time. That's great. That's a really good reason to become attracted to a way of practicing. So you've only just started playing the harmonium during the lockdown?
Yeah, yes, during the lockdown because I was at home and I was feeling very much bored because after completing of working hours, I'd have a TV, but I don't like TV much, and so I was starting to watch on YouTube how they are playing. So I just called my one of friend that I need a harmonium, and he had a three harmonium at his home. So he gave me a one. So it's still not mine harmonium. So he gave me that harmonium and I start practicing. Initially it was the kind of tune become this side and this side, so I
Uh-huh.
was quite confused how I'm playing. But also lockdown and corona give me one more chance to improve my skill because I like singing.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's give me a chance to increase in my hobby in the music also.
Right.
So really,
So you borrowed that harmonium from a friend in Ahmedabad, and now you've taken it home, and one day you can return it to him. And that means that you did have a very good friend and roommate if they were willing to let you learn a new instrument in the house during during lockdown.
yeah, music give inner peace to me. You
Yeah.
know that. That's the
Did,
reason.
mhm.
So before, I'm very much fortune, and I'm, once I can, I can, say to Corona, it's give me a chance because I visited the Golden Temple in the state of India, that Punjab.
Okay.
It's a golden temple. If you have searched and if you might know, it's the most visited place in the world and recorded in the Guinness Book. It's an entire a
Wow.
mecca of in the river between the five rivers. It's a golden temple. So it's also one of Sikh religion place, gurudwara.
Hmm.
So it's also like heaven of the earth. So I visited in the January, and there is suddenly lockdown in the March. So I'm very much again fortunate that I visited before because I
Yeah.
don't know that Corona will come and spoil our
No,
routine
that's really
schedule.
cool. Was it a great experience? Was it as amazing as you were expecting to go to this golden temple?
Yeah, so yeah, definitely because I went to Golden Temple first time in life since 4 years I was thinking that I have to visit, but due to some office schedule I was not able to go there. But when I go that temple and I stay 4 days or long there, and when I returning to flight from Amritsar to Ahmedabad, and I was crying in the flight. My flight was boarding, there was there was guy also from US. I don't know from where exactly he is, and he's sitting beside me and asking why you are crying in the flight. Did you not well or what? So I was just telling him that after visiting this place, I don't wanna leave this place. You should stay some days more. So
Wow.
I just told him no, but really it's very close to my heart. Whether it is a Hindu, whether it is a Muslim, whether it is a Sikh, whether it is a Itsai, all are welcome to visit that place.
Yeah, it sounds like a really meaningful visit, and I'm glad you were able to do that before the lockdown. And it sounds like it's technically a Sikh temple, but they invite everybody there from any
Yes, yes,
religion, and maybe that's one of the reasons it's the most visited site because everybody feels welcome there and can have a really wonderful experience there. Um,
exactly.
so what are the rules for the temples now? They're all just closed, or can some people go with limited capacity, or how does it work?
Uh, Yeah, so just very much interesting. Actually, you are asking about that limitation and close. That even there was an entire lockdown in the India, almost like 3 months, 18 to 90 days. But only
This
that
is from March
one
to
that
June, are you saying?
yes, yeah,
Okay.
right. April, May, and June. Yes,
Okay.
so 5 6 days of March. But there is very much informative news I got from my friend. He's living in that Punjab. There was no closing in that temple during the lockdown. Also, people visiting. and still there is two things, like still people are visiting that golden temple, they are not wearing a mask, they
Mm.
are not sanitizing the hand. So really still people are lots of people are visiting that temple, they are keeping shiva, they are serving langar to people, they are doing prayers there, they are taking bath also in that river. But still now there is no any case find from that temple that become people got positive or become sick, because it's a kind of a temple, a kind of a gurudwara. Have that real example, if people have a cancer, people so pick up people become walk from paralysis, those who have paralysis, those who have cancer. So really in that lockdown, still in that corona crisis, people are keep visiting, and I'm also planning once winter was, because in the north there was a huge snow there. So
Mm.
I'm again also like to visit after February or March when winter gets slow, because
Mm.
really like to visit now that I promise to myself to visit every year.
Right. So, is there technically a law against going to these churches and temples and mosques? And people still go, you're saying, or is there not a law about it?
No, like they are not telling that you don't wear a mask or one that, but generally people are not wearing. They have that mindset. We are at religious people. No corona. Uh,
But I'm asking about like whether people are allowed to go to the temple at all. Like, did the government of India or any state government say no, these places must be closed or these places must have only a limited capacity? Is there any type of law from the government like that?
No, no. As of now, all temples, all church, all masjids, all gurdwaras have become open, and now everyone visit. But
Oh,
there is
okay.
in the some state there was some political matters in that the state of Maharashtra, in the Mumbai. If you heard this name cities, so at that time that bar was open in that May or June or July, and the temples was closed till that August. So they are fighting with
Mm.
government politicians that why bar opens and temples are closed, because
Yeah.
when temples close there is no source of money, people are keeping donating
Oh,
and everything.
sure.
So at
Sure.
that time it's very difficult to pay the trustees, and there was who are taking care of those places.
Got it.
So after the August and September, government have to become very flexible, and then I think since September they open all the religious place, and it's depend on state to state. If it is a peak in the corona, they are allowing like suppose 50 people in 1 hours and 70 people in 1 hours. And
Mm-hmm.
there was a festival in that corona time, there was a Navratri, longest dance festival of that. So at that time, like if a particular festival is coming, so government at that time they are closing that temple, because that rush cannot be happen. But apart
Mm.
from that day, it's open for all. So
Okay.
also like government of India taking care of and any special days that my chances getting very high for in this pandemic to affect the people. But apart from that, now they are allowing and open for all.
Got it. Got it. So you're
With
saying you're
yeah.
saying there was a little bit of controversy because they allowed bars to open first in like August or September, and so then the government had to be like, okay, if we're allowing bars to open, then we must allow these places of worship to also open with certain limitations. But you're also saying that if there's a big festival day when maybe too many people will try to come at the same time, they say no, no, don't come for this festival, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
only because of to that corona will not spread more, because
Yeah.
to keeping safety of that citizens, they took that decision only
Yeah.
for that purpose.
Got it. Yeah, I don't. My family usually goes to church. My parents, anyway, go to church usually every Sunday. But I think they haven't been going during the coronavirus. And like for Christmas, when I come to visit, we would normally go to church together for the Christmas service, but we didn't go this year. And I heard my dad talking to one of his brothers who lives in Colorado, and three of my dad's siblings live in Colorado, and there are many nieces and nephews, and they all went to church for Christmas. So my dad was asking, oh, like, what are the rules? Like, how does that work? And I guess there, the way that it works is that you have to like make a reservation to go to church. Maybe online you sign up and there's only a certain amount of spots, and then when you're in the church you can't, there's like spacing in all the seats, so only families will sit together and not be near each other. And in the church you also have to wear a mask, it sounded like. um, but so I haven't really talked too much about like religion or churches too much, because I guess the people that I've interviewed haven't been going to church. But now I have something that I can weigh in with, and you obviously have a lot of information, so that's a interesting topic to be able to explore. And then oh, my mom, when I told my mom that I was interviewing a friend in India, she said that on a show that she watches, people had traveled to India recently, and that some people were wearing a necklace with like a card on it that was supposed to
Yes.
protect against the coronavirus. And she wanted me to ask you if you had seen these cards, or you know about the cards people wear on a necklace to protect themselves.
So I'm not that much sure.
Yeah, maybe it was somewhere else. And I guess on that note, where does your family live? Like, how far is that from Ahmedabad? It's in a different state, you said?
No, no, it's in the same state
Oh,
of
it's in
the
the same
Gujarat,
state.
but almost 400 kilometer away.
Okay.
So if we are like, there is no, airport available in my town, but it's available in Ahmedabad. So I have to came by car or any bus services or railway services. At the time, I hired a card and I came to my home with my system.
Hmm.
So it took six
Your
to
computer
seven.
system, your work system, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And after that, I came with system. So after 1 or 2 months, one of my friend courier me my clothes and
Oh.
household. Yeah, because at that time situation was very worse. I don't have that much time and
Hmm.
to carry everything because I have to support my business also.
Yeah.
So that's the reason.
um, well, and so you said you went by car. You rented a car to go home. So were the roads even closed before June? I was thinking that because public transportation had been cut off, you weren't able to travel. But if you didn't go by public transportation, does that mean that even traveling by road was very limited?
So at the time I came by hire that car. There is
Mm.
and that much not effect, but yeah, definitely at every check post they are asking about that which city if you are coming. They are checking number plates.
Hmm.
So government of India, police department and transportation and taking care of it and tracing those details from where citizens are coming, where they are going.
How many checkpoints would you say you hit in the 400 kilometers between Ahmedabad and your parents'
I
hometown?
think every 1 hour, 5 to 6 checkpoints are there at that time. She inquired
Wow.
about that. Where are you going? And they are recorded my name and they are recording my company name. I have to show my I card
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
where I'm working, because only for our safety purpose also they are providing sanitizer facilities and mask if someone does not have. I really appreciate that service also.
Mm-hmm. Um, so in general, do you feel like the government has done a pretty good job in your country, and that citizens as a whole are doing a good job and obeying the rules and trying to keep themselves and each other safe?
Yeah, so no, definitely I would say because if I compare to whole world with the COVID-19, so at that time like US populations and India's population 3 to more times to US country.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is currently 1 crore cases in the India compared to 135 crore population, So government is very much, they did a good practices, because in that 135 crore population, we have 1 crore and very low death rate.
Do you know? I'll look it up later, but crore isn't something that we use. What that's like 10,000 or 100. What does a crore equate to?
135 crore, 100 crore plus 35 crore.
But I don't know what a crore is.
It, 10 million, I think so.
Okay. Okay. I'll double check and make sure.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
that was doing the
So,
financial stuff
no,
when we would look at like Indian financial documents. It was also very difficult because we were like, oh,
yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
isn't a whole different unit of.
Because there is only that there is entire population of US country, and only one state of population in that India's country, or there is one state, Uttar Pradesh. So
Hmm.
almost 300 millions people are living in only one state. So you can,
Hmm.
think
Yeah.
about that. If coronavirus spread in that much after the China, India
Hmm.
is the largest populations
Yeah.
country in the world. So government did very much good practices, and I have seen that news. There was a very strict lockdown in the entire world in the India, because
Hmm.
and during 60 days, if people are going out for any such purpose, they are checking everything. It's not like, other countries that people are roaming on the beach or everything, they are making holidays. Not happen anywhere in the India. So
Mm-hmm.
nothing has to be allowed in the India, any place. Also they have making like orange zone, green zone, red zone. If it is more affected, they did not allow that much green zone people to go in that red zone
You're saying that they divided the different cities or states, different areas of population
zone.
into these colored zones, and then that was based on how many infections there were, and then that dictated who was able to travel and what rules were able to be enforced in different places.
Exactly, because during that till the March to June or July, Ahmedabad was in the red zone, and again after the month of August, in the September also, Ahmedabad was in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
So people, we are not getting out, and also government ban all public transportations and flights, ban everything, because it was every each and every area was affected. So government had that much decisions, and still in the night, still since the March to December, so almost has been 9 to 10 months. Still, it's the night curfew in the Ahmedabad from 9 p.m. to till the 6 a.m. Because generally people, I think, they go out, eat food, street food, and they are doing night outs and everything. So still there is no lockdowns, everything is open, but still government imposed it, night curfew in Ahmedabad and other various city.
Mm-hmm. But not where you are now with your parents because this is a smaller community. Okay.
Yes, yeah. So I'm the town. So in my town there is no any curfew, but in Ahmedabad where my other colleagues and
Yeah.
are living, there was a strict curfew in the night time, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. till the morning side.
Got it. So was this a common
Because
thing that people did, that they left the bigger cities to go to maybe smaller communities to avoid the stricter lockdowns?
yes, if the in the Ahmedabad there is very much, universities. So almost more than 5 to 10 lakh people, 5 to 10 lakh students left that cities.
So here's that other word, lek, where 5 to 10 lek would be 500,000 to a million people.
And they went to hometown and they did study online. Still they are doing.
Hmm.
And apart from that, they keeping themselves safe, they left that city. But it was a, a major effect to real estate industry, commercial properties, paying guest,
Hmm.
businesses. So they become totally, jobless and
Hmm.
unemployed. So still they are facing. because
Mm-hmm.
they have invested so much money in that paying house. So it's affect a lot to that community, those who are handling those business, the
Mm-hmm.
commercial, because now work from home culture imposed, so that hired all buildings had become empty. So still Ahmedabad is facing so much crisis in that businesses.
Would you like to move back to Ahmedabad at some point? Is that what you think that you will do, or when, when and if things get better, which I think of course they will at some point, um, it, will you still be allowed to work entirely remotely? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, so as of now, company first thing is, all employees that we had a vibe survey for the 2020 response from the all the employees. Not only me, but almost like 70% people are would like to work on the hybrid approach. Like partially, they if it is a requirement, they need to come office, and if it is not requirement, they will work from home. So if it is a genuine business requirement, if it is a genuine company requirement, I have to support business. But until or unless if I'm able to working 110% from my home, because currently since I nine months I'm getting more productivity at home, because
Mm-hmm.
it's saving my transportation time. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to drive. I don't have to spend time in that go to office. I don't have to that much prepare in the formals, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to that much prepare. So I'm getting more productive at my home. So definitely until and I will give my best.
Uh-huh.
I'm at home office.
And would you only move back to Ahmedabad if you had to go back to the office? Like, did you like living there and living in the city? Or would you just be as happy to stay with your parents? And if,
No, definitely if it is office will open, we will be my younger brother and my mom dad. We will all four will move to Ahmedabad, because it's
oh,
after COVID-19 situation. I don't prefer to live in paying guest where people from different
mm,
sources are living there, and I don't know from where he or she is coming.
yeah,
So
that's a
it
good
will
point.
to chances to increase this infection.
Yeah.
So if it is a requirement, I will be with my parents in the Ahmedabad only, so that I can feel safe.
Yeah. And in terms of the vaccine, how is that looking for India? I know that we have the two that have been approved here, but I know there's a lot of pharmaceutical stuff that happens in India. Like, have y'all been developing your own vaccine, or are you just trying to get access to this Pfizer or Moderna one that have become available here?
Yeah, so like you talking about those vaccine, which is also like they are a plan to give first of the senior citizens, patients who have diabetic and other blood pressure kind of
Mm-hmm.
problems. So also they are starting that survey filling form. They are just taking online survey. They open that center that we need to register. So based on that, first they have preferred to give them those people senior citizen. After that, co-workers who are day night, working with those patients who are affected with the COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, they will give to all that citizens. So I think from 2021 January they will start doing it. But if I'm talking about myself or my family, I don't look any opportunity as of now for vaccine.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I feel also, and it sounds like it's a pretty similar distribution plan from country to country that you got to protect the senior citizens and the healthcare workers first and everything. Which honest, like I've been in my previous episodes when the vaccine has come out, I've been a little like, oh, I'm not getting my hopes up that much. Like we'll see what happens, but like I think it's really important for me to say that it's very exciting to see the healthcare workers getting the vaccines and to feel that these people who've been working so hard and really risking their own health and their family's health, like it's very very exciting to see them receiving the protection and to see the first steps start being taken to protect everybody. But do you know, like, is there an Indian vaccine that has been developed, or are you just also trying to get access to the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines that are becoming available here.
I forgot that name, but almost like two, three more vaccine they are developing. So they are also trying on that stage. Trial 2 and trial 3 already passed in trial 1,
Mm-hmm.
but still have a lots of variation in that. So still government and our prime minister they did not confirm that what which vaccine will be give to citizens to health workers, and
Mm-hmm.
apart from that until that new vaccine give to co-workers and seniors, again that new strain has came. So
Mm.
again now
Yeah.
government of India tracing to those people.
Yeah. I heard that they expect the vaccine to protect against the new strain because it's similar enough. And I guess nobody knows for sure for a little while now. But the one thing that I heard was that like they do hope that the existing vaccines will protect against the new strain. But I don't know.
No, same has happened here also. They are also in the complexities and that it will work for new strain also. That so
Yeah.
same thing is when because the biggest slum area in the Asia is in there is one area it's a Dharavi in that Mumbai. So almost 10 lakh people living in that slum area.
So here again, he's talking about a big slum in Mumbai with 10 lakh or a million people who live there.
So if it's
Mm,
someone came from that, so now government keep recording those almost 3,000 people who travel from Britain to India within a different state.
mhm.
So as of now, if I'm seeing the news of that India government is currently tracking those peoples to control the COVID-19 new strain.
Right, right. And then how available has testing been for you? Like, I think you mentioned when your grandma was ill and showing symptoms. I think you said that she went in for testing. Did she get a COVID-19 test at that time? And have you had any?
No,
Or
actually, she went for the diabetic,
oh,
diabetic medicine, but she was asymptomatic. There was no fever or anything. But
okay.
at then you have to keep yourself safe and alone because of this.
Mm,
So that's the reason they just suggested and they did tracing everything,
mm,
but by God grace, we all become safe and there is no anything happened with us
yeah.
because I was quite very much depressed at the time. It has happened
Oh.
with all because he is a diabetic and it's very danger for that person because I've
Yeah.
seen that lots of deaths happening around US and Brazil, India.
Mhm.
So I just praying day and night to God only to keep all COVID away from almost that persons who are already suffering from lots of other
Mhm.
diseases also.
Yeah. No, I'm very happy that she and the rest of your family sound like they're staying healthy. But I'm just curious about like how much testing is available around India for the coronavirus. Like, have you take the where they stick the thing up your nose to test for it? Um, like, can people go get a test
Yes.
if they want to, or are there not very many testing centers available?
No. Definitely almost in the like there are lots of centers has been created in each and every Ahmedabad city. There is no any cost we have to pay. So government of Gujarat and Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation have created no cost center. So if people have not that much, earning, and if you have that fear that it's a that much dollar we need to pay that $10, $20, whatever we
Mm-hmm.
have to do. So if become people feel like that, so for that government has created that much center that we don't need to pay anything. We need to get tested, and if it is also get tested, government also made converted cancer hospital, kidney hospital into COVID-19 hospital.
Mm.
So apart from testing, they also made that much medical facility in that each and every state, Delhi, Mumbai isolation center, they have also converted stadium into COVID-19 isolation
Yeah.
stadium.
Cool. It sounds like they made a lot of different resources available to try to protect everybody.
Yeah.
And I usually ask about schooling as well. I think you already mentioned that like the university students from Ahmedabad stayed home mostly and didn't have to attend university. Do you know how the other schools worked, like for younger children? Was there like a hybrid virtual and in-person option that was offered, or has school been mostly canceled or mostly not canceled?
Yes, so definitely they were the plan from different state to state. So there is some states they imposed to close it till to June 2021. Also, there is some states, Maharashtra, he was imposed to close till December 2020. Always in the Ahmedabad, Gujarat state, in our state, my state, Ahmedabad, which is in the Gujarat. So they have planned to open on the 23rd November, and there was a Diwali festival, lighting festival, our
Right,
Gujarati
right.
New Year. So at that time, people went out, they did shopping, they travel, and it was I think on 16th November. So
Mm-hmm.
after 5 to 6 days, so on on to 20 or 21st, there was a Saturday Sunday in cases has increased suddenly, and they
Mm-hmm.
have planned to open on the 23rd November on the Monday. On the Friday, on the 28th, they came to know that there is again cases are getting out of range. So also government again did a 60 hours curfew in the Ahmedabad city on the 21st and 22. So again government imposed that school again will not be open till the next further notice. So still in the
Mm.
Ahmedabad and my city, still there is no any further notification.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Diwali because I remembered that that was right before our Thanksgiving holiday. And I remember hearing that, like, technically, they're not supposed to be celebrating, but people probably still will. So you're saying that people traveled, people shopped, people got together, and then kind of predictably the cases rose after that. And then that affected whether or not people could end up going back to school in Ahmedabad. Do you think that happened around the country, in many different places, not only Ahmedabad?
Yeah, so there was in one city in the state of Andhra Pradesh when school was opened, and almost like 300 more students get infected because
Mm,
there was only one professor was affected. So that suddenly that his school got notice and get closed, and
mm-hmm,
there was a very worst effect in that state. So due to seeing that much effect, other state also again closed it
mm-hmm,
schools because no one parents would ready to, and like government has like making a rules that if students want to come office, it's a parents responsibility to get into return that they are sending that child that go to school. So this kind of something happened, that school authority doesn't want to take responsibility of children, so they put entire pressure to that parents that they have putting their children to go school. At that time they parents did very much aggressive actions, and that why we are taking responsibility. If school has opened, that it's a school responsibility to take care of child.
Yeah, I guess that's been a problem in many different ways. Like, whose responsibility is it to protect any given group of people? Um, One last thing. It sounds like you've been pretty satisfied with the way that the situation has been handled by the government, by your company, by everything. But I know in a lot of places there's sort of a sense of distrust that that the information isn't very good. That maybe the death rate that's being reported isn't correct, or the cases. Do you notice any of that in yourself or the people around you, or in India in general? Do people have some skepticism about the information that they're receiving in any way, or do you think that you're getting a pretty good representation of the situation from your government?
Definitely, they are on that COVID website, India website, they are putting daily figures, how much cases in the particular state and how much cases in the country, how much death. but what government actual situation is, if we have people like dying, had a COVID-19, and if they had some other disease like blood pressure and diabetic, and again she had a COVID-19, he had a COVID-19, so government not consider that person that he
Mm.
did died that to COVID-19. It's kind of fever, and that we have to take care that it will be not be goes to any. So
Mm-hmm.
due to that, people become recover if we are they taking care of steams and everything, some homeopathic tablets and other juice. And so definitely if person has some other major disease, and again he had a corona, she had a corona, and he will die, so government not consider those person in the death rate.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
currently death rate is very low. But
Mm.
apart from, if person don't have that much disease, and people had COVID, compared to people are not that much death rate in the
Mm-hmm.
India. Why? Because here people are not going out on beach, because a very less culture here, and compare, people don't have that much, any Gujarat wine and everything is banned, so people are not have that much habits, and also it's not allowed in that our state Gujarat, Ahmedabad,
Mm.
that it's available easily in the shop like Delhi and Mumbai. So compared to if people are not addicted with any alcohol, any other like things,
Mm-hmm.
so that people recover definitely well if you are that getting home isolated as well. So yeah, definitely, death rate is very slow if people only die with the COVID-19.
Yeah, that seems to be the case in a lot of places. All right. Well, thank you so much for spending all this time chatting with me about the situation. It was nice to catch up and talk about not business things. Well, I guess we talked about some business things, but did you
Yeah,
have
it's
any?
really pleasure.
Did you have any questions for
Yeah,
me or any last stories or thoughts to share, or did you want
yeah.
to just wrap up?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. When I seen your message for this meeting, before that I was planning to eat a Chinese, but I told my mom that I have a meeting with my colleagues, and since so long after you left, we didn't get a chance to talk or like live on Zoom or for the training purpose. So
Yeah.
I was quite excited to talk with you, and I really feel that my Sunday become really great also
Aw.
to share these thoughts. And I'm very much lucky to talk with you, and also I'm very much thankful to you to choose me for this discussion and make me that much feel good
Oh.
that I'm talking with you. It's really good for me that you
Oh.
select.
Well, I'm so happy that you agreed to participate. I've been interested in what things were like in India and have been meaning to reach out to you because you've been so kind and you like to check in on me and send me Merry Christmas greetings and stuff. So I always figured when I got around to interviewing in India, I would ask you. So thank you for
Yeah.
postponing your Chinese dinner. I hope you're not getting too hungry.
No, 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 no. I had everything TNA, and wish you again holidays, and stay safe and your family.
Yeah, thank you. Enjoy the
Have a
rest of your
nice day.
evening and
Yeah,
good
yeah.
greetings
Bye bye.
to your family as well.
Thank you.
All
Nice to
right.
talk to you. I will also share this experience with Dromil and
Oh
my
yeah,
team that
yeah.
I got a
Tell all the
chance with
other guys
you.
I said hello as well. I hope they're all doing well during the coronavirus pandemic as well. All right. Good night.
So,
Bye
good
bye.
night. Bye.
All right, well, that's the show. Thank you so much to everybody who's been listening. I didn't do the classic social media and rate, review, subscribe plugs at the beginning, so do find us on Instagram at Corona Connects Pod. If you're feeling up to it, find the Twitter, Rona Connects Pod. It has not been updated in ages. And please do rate, review, subscribe, and tell a friend if anybody might be interested. Thanks again to everyone who's kept up with the show, and congratulations on making it through 2020. And here is hoping, prayer hands emoji forever, that 2021 is a little bit better. Thank you. Bye.